Did you see those suitcases? At the end, just a room full of suitcases with products ready to go. It's kind of wild. Okay, so we're talking beauty events today. There's been a lot of them come up in conversation recently, with the more pro events like Cosmoprof, Tones of Beauty in cosmetics too, the more accessible ones like Allure's Best of Beauty, Sephora, and more recently, Ulta Beauty World. I know I did just say accessible and then Ulta Beauty World, but you know what I mean. It was more open to everyone who could get a ticket. So if you don't know, for this Ulta Beauty World event, they released 3,000 tickets, but then gave away 2,400 to influencers, despite marketing the event as something everyone could attend. Anyway, that whole situation now makes so much more sense if you've seen the aftermath videos that have been floating around. So before we go any further though, let's just get an idea on what Ulta Beauty World was and how it actually went down. I will be doing my makeup throughout this, that's why I currently look like this. I'm actually using a new palette that was sent to me. This is from What's Up Beauty, and this is their Sky Fire eyeshadow palette. And just look at some of these. Ooh, can you see? They're just, oh, they don't look as great on camera as they do in real life. Let me see if I can, oh no. It's doing it no favors. It looks absolutely stunning. Like, these are like duochromes. They're so beautiful. So let's just take a look at the Ulta Beauty World situation, right? This was it. The Ulta Beauty World beauty happens here. Tickets are sold out, obviously, because it's happened already. It says, wow, the hype for Ulta Beauty World was real. If you couldn't grab a ticket this time, we're already counting down to next year. Hope to see you there. Hopefully they've made a little bit of a, what's it called? A mental note to fix it up a little bit for next time. Let's watch this video. April 16th in Orlando. So you could see there was like a million different brands there. Mostly the brands that are sold in Ulta, it being Ulta Beauty World. Listen, I like Ulta. We don't have it in the UK. So whenever I go to the US, I do try and visit an Ulta just because I kind of like it. They always seem a lot calmer than any Sephora I've ever been in. So that's nice. Oh, my skin and my blush and my highlight are already done. That was from my Olive Young haul video I did. So if you want to go and watch that. Wait, have I put it up yet? Yeah, I would have put it up. Then please do go ahead and watch. So they did loads of different things at Ulta Beauty World. They had masterclasses there too. So they had the Ulta Beauty World masterclass, unlock an unforgettable beauty experience with an exclusive hands-on learning session led by top industry experts and brand founders. All this kind of stuff. Prices were $75. These are the people who are doing the masterclasses. Natasha Denona, Jonathan Van Ness, Donnie Davy, Kristen Rondeau, Miss Tina Knowles. You want to pay for that. Brian Edwards, Sir John. Oh, here's creative director of Medicube. No way. And Anastasia, what's her name? I'm not very fond of. It is quite a big event. It's not like, you know, a lot of normal expos where you just walk in and it's just the brands with booths, which it absolutely is at the same time. But they had quite interesting people there. And that's all it is really, just this big, I was about to say warehouse, you know, but like exhibition place with all the brands with their own booths, and you can walk around and get free stuff pretty much. Which, I mean, if you're paying a lot for a ticket, who doesn't like free stuff? Okay, take a look at this.
Does anybody else feel like Ulta Beauty World was like overconsumption? I'm like watching videos of people having 6 massive bags and then a suitcase and another bag that was a swag bag full of full size and products and things like that. And I'm just like, that is a lot of product for one person. I know a lot of people were like, oh, well, lots of influencers went too. Yeah, but like a lot of influencers don't use all of those products. Like, give them to people who they work for, or they will resell them, which I'm assuming a lot of people are actually going to resell a lot of the full-size products that they got at Ulta Beauty World. Just like looking at it and I'm like, 6 bags full of shit is crazy. Because it's either going to expire or you're going to give it away to people or you're going to resell it.
Yeah, so I've done a whole video on people reselling their PR, which I'll also link down below. But also as well, that is a lot of product. And listen, influencers do get a lot of product, but you know, a lot of the time they do a giveaway, they donate to charities. There's special charity events here in the UK where influencers give all their stuff to these charities and they auction them off to raise money. But what she's commenting on is Ulta Beauty World, like I said, you go around and get free stuff. Now, if you didn't know, people were actually leaving with suitcases, plural, that's what plural means, right? More than one suitcase full of products. Now, listen. Now, I'm not really going to complain about that because they paid a lot for those tickets. And the people who weren't influencers, that's their skincare and their makeup done for a year, 2 years. Not all makeup expires within the year. Skincare, yes, but you know, maybe they're giving it to their family. People who aren't influencers tend to be a lot more generous with their stuff than influencers do.
And very few, I feel like, are going to use a lot of the stuff that's in there. But I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm just like, as a makeup artist, like, I am someone who has to overconsume because I have to have products that work for everybody. And like, it's overwhelming at times. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go to Ulta Beauty World. I looked at it, and then the dates that they had it, I was like, oh, I have prior commitment. So I'm not like envious. I just am like, that is a lot of product. And I kind of feel like it's wasteful. Maybe they should have done like the Bay's luggage swag bag and maybe like a limit of how much they can give away. Because if you think of like brands who have raised their prices this year, it's like, did that come out of the marketing budget, or
true,
did that come out of the $2 raise on every product in Ulta and Sephora right now due to the economy? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I was like looking at this, I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. And then also you have to like fly back home with that. So then you have to pay to check bags.
That's such a good point. You have to fly home with all this stuff. I think that's why people, and listen, I can't talk. I've been known to fly to Korea and leave with 2 extra cases. Second time I went, I took a whole empty suitcase with me. And this is an interesting one because there's one, I don't know if you guys know about Superdrug here in the UK, which is like our big drugstore. I think it's called Superdrug Presents, which they do once a year, and I've been to they do an influencer event first and then they sell tickets, so you know, influencers aren't taking up space. I've done a masterclass there as well with MUA on one of the days, and I just feel like they give you a big bag at the end. So you redeem your wristband and you get this big bag and it has like one thing from each brand in. When you see the stuff that these people are giving away, you're going to be like, what the hell? I'm loving the textures of this palette, by the way, the formulas of this palette are so stunning. Attending events like that can be quite overwhelming. And there's a lot going on, so I can understand not wanting to attend them as well. So if you're unfamiliar with the sheer amounts, we're probably going to see it here. We're going to see some hauls, but let's just look at some more people being mad about the situation.
I don't know what the girlies are paying for this Ulta Beauty World entry. Like, what is a pass to get you into Ulta Beauty World? But whatever it is, they are getting their money worth, okay? What do you mean when you get there, they provide you with a suitcase, a carry-on, and a rolly tote bag.
Oh, they're giving
all
to you.
stocked with items. And then you just walk through this big-ass convention center and get more free items nonstop. What is the purpose of this? I also am stuck somewhere between, oh my God, that's amazing, and I'm jealous, I wish I had all that stuff. And also, who the fuck needs that much stuff? Like, this is giving consumerism final boss and also just crazy. Like, where are we at as a society that this has become a thing? Also, afterthought, but like, is there a sustainability program? Like, what happens to all the packaging? Because all I can think about is the landfills. The landfills. Like, I'm not having children, but for my friends who are having children, is there even going to be an earth for them to live on? Like, oh my God, the product. Have you all seen people doing the hauls where they dump it on the bed and it takes up the whole entire... I mean, where are we okay?
I do kind of think of this in a way that not everyone consumes like influencers do, right? A lot of these people that are going, I think we look at this stuff and think of everyone in like content creator mode. As like, not everyone is going to, you know, this could be someone's next year or 2 years supply of product, you know? They're probably not going to, a lot of them aren't going to make content with it other than a haul to show their friends. As somebody who's very familiar with the way people shop, the way people buy beauty products, the way people use beauty products, this might even be some people's Christmas gifts. You know what I mean? Like, some people are going to receive some of this stuff that they got free at Ulta Beauty World as Christmas gifts. It'll be a birthday gift. I do think it'll be all used up. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, consume everything you can and buy everything you can and this is absolutely all okay. I get the outrage, I do. But at the same time, I do think people who live, you know, normal lives and aren't in that influencer mind frame don't feel like they have to try everything, don't feel like they have to open and sniff everything. And, you know, I do feel like a lot of it will be used responsibly. And that's me giving the human race the benefit of the doubt. Didn't know they were given these suitcases. I thought people were just handed so much stuff that they had to get suitcases. Okay, so we've seen people's outrage, but let's take a look at what they're actually outraged at.
Come visit Ulta Beauty World from a non-influencer's perspective. My friend is part of the 3% of non-influencers that got to go to this event, so she's going to voice over her entire experience for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Maggie. I feel so lucky to have got a ticket for this event. We had no idea what it would be like. We figured it would be absolutely fantastic. On my way in, I met a few other people that were also flying solo that also hoped to go with a friend, but only one of them had got a ticket, just like me. So everyone was really friendly here, and I actually buddied up with another girl, and we walked around and started going to all these different booths. Every brand had a very creative and very different setup. Like, for example, the Inky list had a pharmacist handing out my own personal skincare products for my skin type. They even had games and activations. Wasn't great at that one. Still very fun. And they still loaded us up with prizes. There's my new friend, Ashley. One of my favorite booths was the Olive and June one, where I actually got to meet the founder. Here she is, putting nails into my bag. Very special. Also, Staley and I decided to get this roller bag. We bought this last minute. It was an absolute godsend because it ended up supporting all of these products. There was plenty of space to walk around, at least at first, before everyone started loading up on products and bags started getting really wide. I'd say like the products that I got the most were probably in the skincare and hair care family. Here's another fun game. If you won their games, you would often get a full-size product. And if you failed, you usually just got a smaller one. But, you know, either way, you're winning. Each of these brands were very prepared to greet festival goers like me. They each had a small team working, and they were very friendly and warm, and they had just a very short speech they'd usually give on the product and an explanation telling us what they were offering and a little bit of their history sometimes, just depending on who you spoke to. Mascot dance party A. Now, when I tell you that this was like adult Halloween, I mean that wholeheartedly. I never thought I was going to feel a rush of just receiving little goodies after goodies like ever again, like at the same feeling as I had when I was a kid. But let me tell you, I was absolutely wrong because this was it. Maybelline was handing out little mascaras in a hot dog tin. It was like a little hot dog heart. Had a little dance break outside of Bioma because the DJ was playing Tech House. Another female DJ just absolutely throwing down. I saw this everywhere at the festival. So at this point, my new friend was getting tired, so I decided to drop off my first haul to Staley, my getaway driver. I came out with all of this product, and I wish you guys could have seen her face. Her first reaction was like absolutely hilarious. And then, of course, I had to go back in because we're not done. We had a fortune teller here who was giving me my own personalized skincare. I loved her. She was so sweet. Loved that concept. This booth was absolutely beautiful. So at this point, it was about 3 o'clock, and I was really, really making good pace. I was flying around and picking up all the products. One of the coolest things was that there was virtually no wait time to go up and interact with the people at the booth and grab my products. I oftentimes just got to walk right up, and they were there ready to greet me. I think the longest line I might have seen was maybe 7 or 8 people, with the exception of Bubble and Polite Society. Those lines were extremely long. Just when I thought I couldn't get better, I got a full curling iron. So around 4 p.m., I realized that I had not eaten a single thing because I was just too excited going around, interacting with the booths and getting the products, and I was just running on pure fumes and adrenaline. The dopamine was in full force, so I decided to skip food and keep going around because I only had an hour left. So this is what I did instead. As the expo was wrapping up, I decided to make my way out towards the swag bags so I could claim mine. Every ticket holder got a beige suitcase that had $2,000 worth of mystery products inside, so I couldn't wait to see what was inside of ours. Staley was already on her way, and it took her about an hour to go about half a mile. But she was there with my first meal of the day. It was absolutely clutch. My arms were achy, my feet were tired, but our spirits were higher than ever, and we just could not wait to get back to the Airbnb and see the spread and just kind of see everything we had got. We divvied these products up and took the stuff that we really wanted, saved some for family and friends, and parsed out a little bit to donate for the rest of it. This was a once in a lifetime experience, and I feel so incredibly lucky to have had the chance to do this. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, so that was a lot of stuff. Huge amounts of product going on there. But you did hear at the end, the person doing a voiceover there was kind of like, I'm going to donate a lot of this stuff, give some to family and friends. And I genuinely believe them. I think once you get that kind of stuff home, one way you're going to store it, right? If you don't have a room dedicated to beauty, like a lot of, influencers have, or a lot of people with a lot of money, where are you going to store it? So they might get to this point where they're like, okay, actually, you know what? Realistically, I can't keep hold of all this stuff. Did you see those suitcases? At the end, just a room full of suitcases with products ready to go. It's kind of wild. It all looked good though. It all looked like everything was high quality. The pop-ups looked really good. It all looked pretty well done. So we saw from those examples before that the internet in general has had a huge issue with the amount of gifting that went on at this event. And they were kind of a little bit mad at the people, showing their hauls on TikTok. And they definitely seem to be split on whether or not this amount of gifting is okay. And seeing these people walking around with big old bags of stuff makes the drama of where Ulta were kind of cancelled for this behavior of only inviting influencers. It makes it make a little bit more sense, right? Because influencers get this stuff. The amount you saw there in that video was probably less gifting than an average influencer would get throughout the year. Like, I probably have that amount in this room right now waiting to be sorted out. I'm not even joking. Some of it's sorted, some of it isn't. Some of it's going to be ready to donate, some of it I'm going to use, some of it I'm not. It can be overwhelming amounts of product, literally. So it looks like a lot there. It's less than an influencer is going to get throughout the year. Okay, let's have a little look at some of these hauls. Okay, I don't have that much in my room right now. Oh my gosh, I thought it was a suitcase and a roll bag. That's insane. That's insane, it's still going. There were towels. Towels might come in handy if you have a pet. I'm going in with my Blend Bunny and Jordan Liberty, what's it called? Masterclass, the structure palette. Just to add some definition. You know what, I do wonder, like, how are they getting all this home? A lot of people literally flew into this event. You're going to need to pay for extra luggage. But you know what? A lot of people in the US drive as well, long distances. That is a lot to carry. That's insane. This one says, Ulta Beauty World 2026 Aftermath. Goodness me. I got a suitcase up on the kitchen side, huh? And there's still more to go. There is a lot of full-size products there as well. It's not just samples that these people are giving out. These brands are giving out. They've given out full-size products. It's very generous. It's very generous. It does make me wonder, did Ulta pay a certain amount for these? Or do brands see the benefit of like handing out these products to like smaller content creators or people who aren't content creators? I think it's a good thing that people get that experience,
Guys, I wanted to share what I got from Ulta Beauty World 2026. As you guys can see, it's a lot of stuff. I had loads of bags. I got a decent amount of actual full-size products, which I was really happy about. But yes, hot tools, all the things you can think of, beauty.
She's got like free curling irons.
Were available in so many vendors. I had such a hard time filling up my bags so that every product was visible. And this doesn't even include the items that were in the swag bag. So definitely worth it. Hope you guys visit Ulta Beauty World 2027.
Wow, there's a lot of product there. I'm in two minds about it. I don't see the issue with people getting a lot of free product. And the hauls look quite big, but there seems to be some doubles and some triples there. So I do think a lot of people will end up giving a lot away. It does look, yeah. I don't know what else to say on that. Again, like if you're, your job isn't an influencer, you work full time and you go to an event and they give you free curling irons, I'll be like, you know what? One for me, one for mum, one for sister, one for whoever, one for my business. Maybe I have a hair business. This is like, I think one of the first times I've seen an event with this much value in what you pay for. Like I said, we have the Superdrug Presents one here, but you get a tote bag, which I think is extremely generous. To be leaving with a suitcase, a roller bag, loads of other bags is beyond generous. And again, I wonder who is actually paying for all that. And also, just a little fun fact, those orange bags we saw people rolling around? Those were the only other bags you were allowed at the event. So you can actually bring in your own suitcase and things like that. And you had to buy them. So another little money maker there. I'm assuming this is because of security though, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think it is up to the people attending this event to think, am I going to use this? Am I done for the day? Do I need to calm down? Have I gone too far? I'm only going to fill up one suitcase, you know? I don't blame Ulta for it. I blame them for, you know, the ticket sales, the way all that went. But in terms of, like, what people are given, that's on how much people want to take with them. I'm going to try something that's going to ruin everything. So I don't necessarily blame Ulta. You know, we're all adults. We can make these choices for ourselves. No, I hate that. I hate what I've done there. Okay. But if it's not your everyday situation to receive free product like this all the time, if you're paying to go to Ulta Beauty, you're very into beauty, right? You may be very into the social media aspect of beauty. What a great opportunity to have all this stuff like an influencer does. All this free stuff that you may never get sent in your life, to have it all there. I have to know your opinions. I really want to know what you think. I mean, we can see what a lot of people thought by the comments too. Somebody says here, I'm mad all over again. Someone says, watch next year, they'll give small sample sizes of everything once they realize how much profit they lost. I legit got scared I would appear in this video because I had so many bags. I think it might be to the expense of the brand. I don't think Ulta is paying for any of this. You know, Ulta has obviously pitched this to these brands and said, you know, loads of people are going to see you handing out the free product. It's going to be in hauls everywhere. People are going to want to get all this stuff. I don't think Ulta would have said it. I think the brands maybe had a budget. I was like, this is how much free products we're handing out on each day. Someone says, yeah, we are paying too much for these products if they are giving this much away. Again, I don't even think that's how much they give away during the year. I think as well, if you've never worked in beauty retail, you might not be aware of how much loss there is in the beauty retail space in terms of returned products, faulty products, throwing something away because the box is slightly dented depending what brand you work for. There's a lot of waste and loss within the beauty industry. I think more than what you see here. Someone says, how much of it will you throw away? And the person says, it's okay to be jealous, maybe you can go next year. No, that's a genuine concern a lot of people have. How much is going to be used? How much is going to be wasted? Someone says, do you carry the bags around by yourself or how does that work? Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure not every attendee gets a private assistant. Is it yet me? Or is it yet me? Maybe they meant just me. Or does everyone's hauls look like pure junk Ulta is trying to unload on people? No. Someone says, genuinely, who needs all of this? And Creator says, me. I need all of this. Nobody needs all of that. Someone says, genuinely not being a hater, but is this not like an unnecessary amount of products? Like, there's no way you can use all of that completely before it expires. Someone says, all of that for samples. I don't think they're all samples. Products aren't going to expire until you open them, of course. You know, there is an expiry on them. As somebody who I consume, right, I'm going to be 100% real with you. You know, I consume product. I do it for my job. I do it because I like beauty. I do buy a lot of stuff because I like makeup, but it is always going to be used and not just thrown away, as in not just by me. So I don't feel like I could sit here and be like, oh my gosh, so much consumption. I mean, I don't get through that much in a year. I don't think anyone does. Does seeing this fill me with horror slightly? Yes, it does. I feel a certain way about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy for the people that paid a lot of money to go and see this, managed to get a ticket and go. If I was an influencer and I went to this, I would not be taking home a lot of that product. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't have the room. I wouldn't have the time. And also, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but free product kind of loses its appeal eventually. I'm very thankful for being on people's PR lists. I'm very thankful for brands recognizing me. But sometimes brands do just send you stuff out of the blue. A company can get your address. I don't know where they're storing my address, but they will just get your address and send it out to you. You know what I mean? So that appeal does die down. So I don't know if many influencers would have taken away everything you saw here. The suitcase, perhaps. Okay, I need to know all of your thoughts down below. I need to know your thoughts on the consumerism of this, in terms of people taking willingly free stuff a lot, how much Ulta were giving away. What are your thoughts on this in general? Not just the ticket sales process, because we know that was shit from the beginning. What are your thoughts on what you have seen from this event in this video? Let me know down below. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say because I just don't know how I feel about it. Subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.